Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 88 of Tony 411. I'm Nemesis, and joining me on this little ride through time is Alcatraz.
Sup?
Yeah, 88. I mean, it's kind of important. I mean, Back to the Future and stuff. I kind of like that movie a lot. How much do I like it, you may ask? Well, I'm that guy who shows up Everfree with a DeLorean, so...
He doesn't like it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably can guess what this episode's going to be about from that. If you can't, you'll find out.
You'll find out.
Yeah. So, we got actually quite a bit of news. Some big things actually were popped up this week. So, we got that, of course. And we got a little bit of fan content at the end. So, it helps you stick around and listen to the whole thing because you should. Anyway, if you want to follow along with all this stuff, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. All the links for everything are there. So, let's get right into the news. For conventions, the Long Beach Comic Expo has announced several MLP comic artists, including Tony Fleeks, Agnes Garbowska, Christina Rice, and Katie Cook. The Friendship Express over in Malaysia has opened up performer applications. I believe this is more than just music, so I'm not sure how many people are going to be in Malaysia, but still, you never know. BabsCon has announced that Heather Newfer, comic writer, and Bobby Curnow, comic editor, for attendance. So the two of them will be there. Bobby Curnow does a lot of stuff on the IDW boards, answering questions and whatnot. So try to be polite.
Yes.
Because I know he's gotten a lot of heat lately for the direction the comics have been heading lately.
Yeah.
TrotCon has announced their own comic guest, Heather Breckel, who she's the colorist for a lot of the issues. So all those pretty colors, which are usually pretty consistently good.
Yes. She does a good job.
Vincent Tong, voice of Donut Joe, and no one else worth mentioning, will be at PonyCon NYC.
No one else. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one else worth mentioning.
Everyone knows who we're talking about.
Also, PonyCon NYC has announced that Andy Price will be attending, plus some con mascot plushies by 4DE, a poster for VIP supporters, and they put the event page up.
Neat.
Yeah, a lot of stuff just kind of slammed onto the news, I guess, just now, actually.
Yeah.
And by the way, those 40E plushies, if you aren't going, you can actually still order them and get them shipped to you, and they'll come to you about a month and a half after the con. So if you're not going, still want them. Only $25. Go check them out. And also in PonyCon NYC news, because yes, they just dropped a bunch of bombs last week. They'll be premiering a trailer for Season 5 at the con.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is like the second weekend of February, so we might actually by that point have maybe a release date?
Hopefully.
If the investor meeting thing doesn't reveal by that point.
Maybe this trailer,
because if they're doing spring, usually by this point in time, they've kind of given us an actual date.
Yeah, I wonder if they're waiting for this trailer. If they announced the release date with the trailer.
And finally, in con news, Equestria LA said they are coming back, and they now have a date and location. The con will be at the Hilton Anaheim on September 4th through 6th of this year.
All right.
In fandom news and whatnot, MLP Gameloft game has been experiencing reset issues, but they are working on it if you have been affected. So apparently at this point, your best bet is just call customer service and let them know. That's really much your only option. Sorry.
Good luck.
Yeah. Speaking of games, though, on the fan side, the horse game demo is available for download.
Yeah. I actually did download it, and I played through it. I got through most of it, but I died right at the end. It plays a little bit interesting. So it's definitely something to check out, I would say.
And it won't be...
Combat's a little bit difficult to get your hang of.
Probably won't be C&D by Hasbro because it doesn't actually have anything from the show.
Yeah.
They're smart like that. Anyway, the Wildlife Learning Center is raising funds through Indiegogo, and they have incentives for bronies, specifically, from Lauren Faust and whatnot. So go check that out and donate. I mean, it's like $25 will get you a raffle ticket to get your OC drawn. So if you missed that, that big auction where because maybe say it was too rich for your blood.
Yeah.
$25, you have a chance. You can't buy multiple chances. They're also selling as incentive, as sort of
offering.
An offering, yeah.
There you go.
$100. $100 donation will get you your choice of one Funko signed by Lauren Faust. Main 6 or I think background characters as well.
Yeah. There had been specifically a Twilight one that was signed by both Terra and...
Those are back in stock.
They have them back in stock?
Because I know 5, now they have 12 more.
Okay.
Because of how popular it was.
If you want those, get on it quick before it goes out again.
Mm-hmm.
It may already be out by the time you see this.
I checked this morning, it was still going, so who knows? 2 days, that could change everything. Anyway, merchandise news. The new Beanie Baby MLP plushes are available from a seller on Amazon. They're in very low quantities at this point, but that means they're coming soon. And general retail. These are probably someone who got their hands on them early. That always happens. The Spitfire and Trixie Funko Pop figures have been listed at Hot Topic, so if you've been looking for those, they're available. MLP merchandise from Hasbro will now have QR codes, following the trend set by other Hasbro lines like Transformers. Yeah, because I've seen that Robots in Disguise, they have the actual faction symbols, but now they have a little code around them for the same sort of thing, a little app, which gets you the characters and whatnot. Apparently it's still in production, but we're getting another pony game type thing.
Interesting.
But it's mobile.
Oh,
again.
Boy. Another one of those.
But this one's different, so who knows?
Different doesn't always mean better, but we shall see.
Build-A-Bear is getting Cadence, Luna, and Shining Armor sometime in the near future. No release dates, but the pictures were found within their website, buried. Yep. So look forward to those if you, say, want more princesses, because the other two are out.
Yep.
And they also have their accessories, apparently, so there's that. And I guess in the big merchandise news, the London Toy Fair happened, and several new things were seen. Some we'll get to later. Several new playsets were shown, including Celestia's Castle, Rarity's Boutique, and a pop version of Twilight's Castle, plus quite a bit more, just in general, including new pop figures and whatnot, and apparently new Trixie and Cutie Mark Magic and all that jazz. Multiple links, go check those out for the pictures. And a lot of them have also been listed on Amazon and whatnot, reconfirming them. Speaking of which, you should buy some apples. No, really. A lot of Apple family stuff has appeared on Amazon, and I mean
a lot.
I mean,
holy crap.
There's Apple Fritter, Babseed, Apple Bloom, Apple Jack, I think a Big Mac, Granny Smith, I think even.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of other background.
Just Apple. A whole bunch of ones like, whoa, they've appeared.
Someone really likes Apple.
Like, apparently, which one? Was it Flam or Flim?
One of the two.
Yeah, one of the two also, even though they're not apples, but
Dang.
Whatever. That's a thing. So yeah, if you've been wanting Apple merchandise that's not, not Apple merchandise. Computers. Yeah. Anyway, in comic news, Hot Topic has listed their exclusive cover of issue 27. It's called Saddle Rager. Fluttershy's Power Pony form. So if you want that, there it is. That's coming this week, right after we record. We'll hopefully have a review next week, unless USPS decides to be slow again. Anyway, the Villain comic collection that appeared on Amazon last week and we talked about has been officially announced now. It's a 5-part miniseries that will release over the course of the month of April, one a week. So 5 issues. I believe it's Sombra, then Tirek, Sirens, Nightmare Moon, and then Chrysalis. That's the order they'll be released in. Once a week for the month of April, and then the trade paperback will come out in June-ish, I believe, according to Amazon. So if you're looking forward to those, get ready. They're coming. And speaking of which, Tony Fleeks and Agnes Skarbowska have been dropping teasers. I mean, a lot of teasers. You're going to see a lot of links there.
Yep.
Including some of those are video, so.
Ooh, neat. And
also, the retailer incentive covers for Fiendship is Magic. That's the name of the miniseries,
Fiendship instead of Friendship.
Yeah, get it. They've also been revealed, and they're kind of this, kind of the Day of the Dead type thing.
Oh, yeah, those ones.
Yeah, those are the retailer incentive covers of the main 6. And apparently Twilight and Pinky share the first issue because there's only 5.
Yeah.
You can buy the original artwork, by the way. They're $600 a pop, but you can buy it.
Definitely interesting looking.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I guess this is the big news of the week.
Yeah.
I told you we'd get back to it.
Yep.
So, Equestria Girls 3 info started appearing at the London Toy Fair. Like, a bunch of it. It's going to be called Friendship Games, apparently. And it's going to be some sort of sports X Games sort of style thing. We're not really sure yet entirely of the details.
Yeah.
But apparently, according to some people who were at the London Toy Fair, it's going to apparently be the Canterlot Wonder Colts versus the Shadow Colts in some sort of sports thing. And a lot of the packaging details, remember, this is our marketing guys, so they don't always get everything right. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
But apparently it's going to be some sort of sports thing. We've seen like pictures of Applejack, Fluttershy, and apparently Twilight as holding... I'm not sure of Twilight. We haven't seen pictures of her, but we know apparently she's going to be... But archery, bows. They're holding bows and stuff. And
like the Hunger Games.
Like, yeah. Amazon has listed them, like archery sets and whatnot. Apparently, Sunset and Rainbow will have motocross things.
Yeah. Archery and motocross as a games event?
It's interesting. We're not sure. I thought it was just gonna be just sports, and then I saw the picture. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected that.
Yeah, this is out of nowhere. I don't think it's gonna be the Hunger Games type thing.
Well, no, obviously not.
A lot of people are speculating it's gonna be Hasbro's little trying to ride the popularity of Hunger Games. Like,
yeah, I don't think you could pull that off in this medium.
Not this time, guys.
It'll be interesting, but leave that for the fanfics.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff just dumped on us, which I'm expecting like official announcement trailer. Apparently they said August, which is apparently if the people are looking at like doing the math and stuff, it's like that would mean right at the same time season 5's ending, Equestria Girls 3 will be hitting, which is like you're gonna have 2 hype trains rolling at once then.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. They pull it off, it works.
Yeah, they pull it off, but then there's also the question of, so what about the next season? Are we going to get a next season? Because there's the movie still, the big FIM movie in 2017, which gives us a whole year or so.
Oh God, don't give us a year hiatus to an ending movie.
Or more than a year, because it'll be later in 2017. So.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's just, so the Equestria Girls, I mean, there's also 3... new characters have been shown. Apparently, they're going to be important. Some people are already speculating might be new villains. They might be shadow cults. Apparently, according to the packaging, we've seen human Twilight on the packaging with her glasses and stuff. So it's likely she's going to, as we saw at the end of Rainbow Rock, she's probably going to play an important role.
Yeah, it would be.
It's just all going to be very interesting.
Yeah,
I think. I'm not sure where they're taking it. I mean, I'm probably going to get a trailer soonish. Because, I mean, they just dumped a bunch of toy info, which means, okay, we all know now what's going on.
Yeah.
At least somewhat I would know what's going on. We're still kind of lost about the details. So, yeah, lots of toys. Like, a bunch of them have been listing on Amazon. A bunch of, not pictures, really, just mostly packaging stuff. So, for no actual pictures of the toys themselves. But a bunch of listings, all sorts of stuff of the Equestria Girls, new stuff. Apparently, August, that might not be correct. People at these toy fairs have gotten it wrong before, so I don't think we can call it cliche high school stuff at this point.
No.
Now we're involving archery and
most
motocross.
High schools I know of don't have those two things.
So that's also
interesting.
The whole Sunset on the motocross dirt bike is kind of almost fits along a line with a lot of people's fandom, which would be Sunset riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, that would fit Sunset, I think.
It's just interesting. I'm just wondering how that will work. And as one person speculated, the human Twilight might also be a shadow cult from that school or something. She goes to that school. I mean, someone speculates.
Well, yeah, if they could pull it off, it would definitely.
I mean, she doesn't go to Canterlot High, so
yeah.
It's one of the things. If she's at this other high school, that'd be an interesting dynamic.
What she sets.
You can't play for both teams, but I'm not.
Well, she sets up the whole thing as an excuse to get there and figure out what the heck's going on.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Which the only reason she enters the games at all because she's not a sporty type. She enters at all just to be able to have an excuse to be there and investigate.
Yes.
And then or possibly even only enters because she sees her other self and let's go.
Wait a minute, that's not right.
What
is this?
We can speculate.
Yes, we can speculate for hours.
We'll find out soon what's going on. They'll release a trailer probably in the next couple months.
Hopefully, yeah.
Since the cat's out of the bag. But yeah, that's the news. Yeah, that was pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I kind of also moved it from merchandise to,
Rainbow Rocks or Equestria Girls news, yes.
Yeah, friendship games, though. Anyway, as I alluded to at the beginning of the episode, as I kind of teased a little bit on Twitter and...
Straight up gave away, basically, at this point.
Yeah. We're talking about It's About Time.
Yep.
And this isn't quite on the same level for me as Lesson Zero in Season 2, but still one of my favorite episodes from that season. If you don't know, basically, Twilight meets her future self, and her future self tries to give her a warning, and Twilight panics and tries to prevent a disaster, and then finds out, that it wasn't really anything happened. It was just a miscommunication thanks to a limit on the time travel spell. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And I just like this episode just because for me, it's Twilight episode. It's time travel. I mean, this is one of those. This episode should have been made for me.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I just really like this episode. I think this is really our last time we see also, I guess, of Twilight going crazy. like really crazy. This is like our last time. After this, she's
after that,
much calmer.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the points of this episode.
Yeah, this is her just kind of
realizing
down.
You can let things go. It's not that
her
big
calming
of a
down.
problem.
Although it is kind of an alarming thing to see your future self telling you need to listen to me. You need to
come with me if you want to live.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, as we saw, the time travel thing, blatant Terminator reference.
Blatant.
It's like big shining orb of light hunched over.
Yep.
Terminator. The only thing missing is the crater in the ground and being naked. But ponies are usually naked.
They're usually naked, so you couldn't really do that.
You have to differentiate them somehow. So how do we do that? Spy suit, eye patch, crazy haircut.
Yep.
All that stuff. Which I think was intended to be more of a reference to Escape from New York, not Metal Gear Solid. Although people argue to death that's a reference to Metal Gear Solid. I'm going to go with Escape from New York. Just because. I still love this episode, actually. It's
a good episode. It holds up fairly well. A couple points I think, I don't know, you can explain it because she's nervous, but...
Remember also time travel is kind of a nightmare to do when it comes to stories. Once you involve time travel, you're like, I've got to be really careful now.
Yes.
Because one misstep, someone's going to say, but what about? And everyone, you just say, shut up.
Shut up. It's all wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. Oh. Yes, I'll use that phrase. Yeah.
Don't ruin it for me.
I don't think I could ruin this one for you. But yes, there's a couple points just like, wait a minute. No, I guess you can. There's a few things like, you'd think she'd notice a little bit sooner.
Sleep deprivation.
Yeah, I mean, you can explain it because she's been up 7 hours, but I mean...
Not 7 hours.
7 days.
7 hours? Oh, wow, that's so horrible. What is she, a cat?
I think they stay up for even longer than that. But, I mean, especially, like, near the end, one of my only biggest things against it, I mean, at the very end when she realizes nothing happens, she calms down and goes back in time. But when she goes back in time to deliver the message, she's panicking.
Yeah.
It's like... I understand why they did it because
she only has so much time.
Yeah, I know. Well, also you have to be panicking in order for
it to make sense.
It makes sense for Twilight to panic as well, but it doesn't make sense for her to be panic. It's one of those. Okay, I know why you did it, but it doesn't quite fit up.
I think it's just.
I think that's minor.
I think it's more she's panicking, kind of in a panic, because she knows she only has so much time, and.
Well, I mean, the tonality and word choice really, really pushes the belief that...
I disagree hard.
There is something bad happening, which is why Twilight believed there was something bad happening, because that's just the way she acted. It's like, yes, something really bad is about to happen.
You need to listen.
But she just learned before she learned that it wasn't anything bad. So it's like...
She actually didn't ever say that anything was bad was happening. She just said, you need to listen to me.
But it gave the impression, which is why Twilight picked it up.
Again, I think it's just because she was... if she knew she was short on time.
Yes. I mean, you can't explain it. Like I said, it's really minor. It's really minor. I'm nitpicking here because it was a really good episode. But yeah, it's like the other. Okay, you're now wearing the ruined clothing. You've seen every sign, and nothing yet bad has happened. It might be because there wasn't anything. You should start realizing that.
Well.
But yes, otherwise, again, those are like super minor nitpicky things.
Compared to a lot of time travel stories, this one's actually fairly airtight.
Yeah, there's a lot of time travel ones that really mess things up. But yeah.
This is actually fairly airtight for a time travel story, all things considered. I mean, there is that question of, well, why did she go back in the first place? What actually caused that? But then, of course, you have to say stable time loop.
Oh, yeah, stable time loop. I
remember way back when those fanfics I featured kind of tried to explain that. Why she went back in the first place, because as we saw, Cerberus left Tartarus,
which is actually important later in the season.
Exactly. That's what I was talking about. It's just, which she tried to had to get him back before anyone escaped. When she missed one apparently, which I guess a small, unassuming little feebly centaur. It's kind of easy to overlook that, especially if you don't actually poke your head into Tartarus. Which why would you? I mean, it's basically hell.
It is hell.
You want everyone in here? Yeah, okay. Would be that. I wouldn't want to go any further.
I don't want to go in there. Heck no.
Yeah, so...
I want to keep coins to cross the river.
Exactly. But, yeah, so, yeah, it was kind of I like how they did tie that season 4 finale back into this old episode. No one expected that.
No one expected that. I wonder if they actually did plan it.
Probably not at this point.
I don't think they planned it. But they went, hey,
They just realized this is a perfect opening.
Yeah, so that was smart of
It's
them.
one of those retro. It's like, it looks brilliant if you don't realize that.
Shh, we planned from the beginning.
Exactly.
Right.
It's one of those things.
Yes, we planned this. Don't
planned
question
it.
Don't question.
Let people say, "Oh, we planned it from the beginning," even though it obviously didn't.
Obviously it didn't, but it worked. It works really well.
I just liked how they tied that this would become a very important episode in the future.
Yeah.
Future Twilight.
Future. Yay! More time travel. Not quite.
Yeah.
But yes.
That's the one thing it does annoy me is just Tara Strong mispronouncing Tartarus.
Tartarus.
Yeah, she overpronounces it.
Tartar
And it's like, I was like,
is
why
something
did no
completely
one
different.
correct her when she was recording?
Some people that it is pronounced like that.
Most people are weird.
Yes.
Of course, we also know Tara Strong is kind of weird if you watch her Twitter. Let's be honest. I like her voice acting, but come on, she's a little weird at times.
Everyone's
Again, she
a
got
little
nothing
weird.
like Tabitha St. Germain.
Yeah, but they're all cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
They're all cool.
They're fun weird.
It's the cool
They're the fun weird.
Yeah, the cool weird.
Yeah. This is one of those episodes. I think it initially was kind of disappointing when I first watched it because I was trying to keep my expectations in check, but it didn't quite work because I'm like, oh my god, Twilight and time travel, then but it's still it still wound up being like, I guess, one of my top 5. It's like my favorite of Lesson Zero, and I think after that was Candlelight Wedding 1 and 2, and then like this one.
Yeah, it was a really good episode.
And also written by Emmy Larson. That was a coincidence. I swear that was a coincidence. That was not planned to do 2 M.A. Larson episodes in a row.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Wow.
You just want a pair of wings for yourself.
Whatever.
It sounded better in my head.
Yeah, that was a failed attempt. You want to go back in time and try that again?
Sure, you got that time travel spell?
I got a flux capacitor.
You do have a flux capacitor.
But yeah, I think I'm disappointed there was no Back to the Future reference. I was really hoping for that when I watched it. I think that's another thing that disappointed me because I was really hoping for that and it never happened. I was even if it was just a line of dialogue, just one line of dialogue from the movies.
McFly or something like that.
Dialogue for the movie would have made me happy. I was glad there was no Doctor Who reference. At this point, it's kind of getting annoying with the Doctor Who stuff.
Well, this was season 2.
But
it was still pretty heavy.
That was really when it was starting to pick up in an official capacity.
Yeah, I don't think it picked up enough in time for what it in order to make it into this, because considering the difference in time between when they write them and when we see them.
Heck, I mean, Bill and Ted did reference would have been fun too.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I do also like, again, this is another one of those episodes where they did call back to previous stuff with, oh look, Pinky Sense.
Yeah.
And even factored into why Twilight had the bandana thing, although that was kind of odd. Like, that's apparently an old thing. You just kind of wrap something around your head. I guess it puts pressure and helps to alleviate a headache or something.
I don't know.
It's just, I've noticed as an old thing of just, oh, you have a headache, just wrap a thing around your head. That used to be a thing, apparently.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Head injury, head Band-Aid. I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
don't think about it too hard, I guess. Don't think too hard about it.
If it's an open wound, then it helps.
But going back to what I was talking about earlier with I remember those fanfics I featured way back when with the. I just like that. It's like, what caused her to actually time travel in the first place? I know there's the easy answer of stable time loop, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
But has to have been at some point there has been something to actually cause her to go back in that.
Maybe it depends on which theory of paradox you subscribe to, because there is a few of those paradoxes where, again, talk about stable time loop.
Yeah.
She went back in time because she went back in time,
yeah,
and that's simply it. It literally just.
I still prefer
loops
that
back
there was
itself.
an initial version.
It is, what there's. I mean that's back reference to. It's stuff like self-fulfilling prophecies, kind of an ordeal. It's the same kind of thing, like Oedipus.
Yeah.
That whole idea. So it's a very classic theory.
I think I just like the there was at one point a different timeline, but it's been altered, and now the timeline, it's one of the, in order to keep itself flowing correctly, it kind of still had Twilight have to go back in time just to make sure she went back in time. Otherwise, we have that's the paradox. She has to go back in time to prevent the paradox from happening, because she doesn't, because she already prevented the disaster or something. Then.
Yeah, it gets all sorts of weird when you start thinking about paradoxes.
Yeah, and actually before season 4 finale happened, I actually had a theory of there was a disaster or something, but because of her little panic, she inadvertently stopped it. And then she still wound up going back to warn herself there was nothing wrong, but by doing so, she made sure that there was still the panic and everything's still, because it's one of those like times like river, you block it off, it's going to find a way around anyway.
Yeah. It's interesting. There's a whole bunch of different theories that could come up that would actually...
Time travel's fun.
Time travel is fun.
Oh, to quote Kim Possible, time travel, it's a cornucopia of disturbing concepts.
That's a good line.
Yep, I like that.
That is a good line.
I like that line.
Big
It's my
words.
favorites. But
big words.
Yeah, it's just it's still really fun. I was surprised they took on time travel at all. It's I mean kind of a standard thing with cartoons.
Yeah, but they took it on, but they kept it light enough on the explanations to not
bog down,
throw monkey wrenches into the work either, to not bog you down,
let
to
the
not
fans
bore
figure it
you,
out.
but also not so everyone isn't going, oh, you missed this, you missed this, you missed this. They kept it light enough so that you could suspend your disbelief.
And also fans could figure stuff out.
Yep.
Like we're doing now.
Yes.
Because that's also nice for fanfic, because I've seen so many fanfics where she improves Star Scroll spell or something. I remember the Journal of Two Sisters actually has a little implication that Star Scroll has jumped through time on multiple occasions, which means it's kind of like, because it was a one-time use, it's like, what stops her from using it again? Does the scroll disintegrate, or...
It's magic.
Exactly.
It's magic.
But anyway, Troy, I've seen so many fics. It's like she's improved it. Like there was that funny comic about with the drunk future Twilight.
Oh,
I like that comic. It's funny.
Yeah.
You have to make out with me. The future depends on it.
Are you drunk?
Very.
Very. Yeah.
Exceedingly so. I don't remember what
something like that. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, she improved.
You should be a narc. The second comic, yeah.
Why are you such a narc, Nanako? But yeah, I just, it was one of those it's like towards the end of season 2, and it was really fun. And also, I haven't even touched on Pinky. Was in there. She was actually fairly important in this one. She was the one who kind of pretty much helped Twilight throughout the episode, which is also right. I've noticed a lot of Twilight Pie shippers rejoiced, especially shortly after this Mystery on the Friendship Express aired, and that was another very strong Twilight Pie, or not Twilight Pie in the shipping sense, but Twilight Pie in the...
Yes,
two of them.
They are both main characters for the episode.
Yeah, and it was a very strong episode for both of them. So I was surprised Pinky was in this episode so predominantly, but it worked out really well because the two of them actually have a very interesting dynamic it's the Pinky and the Brain, which
Pinky and literally
literally
Pinky and a Brainiac.
Yeah, but yeah,
so
it's that. So it's except less evil.
Yeah. They're not trying to take over the world.
Exactly.
Yet. She did just become an alicorn recently, so...
Perfect. No one suspects a thing.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that would be...
I think there's already fanfics out there. I'm pretty sure I've
Probably, but I haven't really... I think I saw one, but it never got finished. But it's an interesting concept. I want to see... That would be nice, fun to play with. No one's... But
it'd be tough though. But that's a side thing.
And also Spike being dumb, not thinking about things like, hey, it's future Spike's problem. Guess what?
You're gonna be that
future's
Spike.
Here. The future is now. You got a wicked bad tummy ache now.
Here.
So.
Yes. Spike was Spike.
Yeah, Spike was Spike. This was like Spike, I guess, at his best, which was comedic relief sidekick character.
Yep.
So
it wasn't horribly annoying.
Exactly. It was fun. It was just also funny because Twilight is also sleep deprived and freaking out, and that would cause her to make dumb mistakes. It's weird too because she overlooks really obvious things, but also does this crazy amount of just thinking and figuring things out. It's like, whoa. But yeah, it's that weird zone of all this stuff. It's like you can figure it out, but this one super obvious thing just completely overlook it.
Completely missed it.
Like you said that the actual equations on the board.
Yeah, that was something that was really cool.
They're actual real equations.
Monitoring everything. There's one scene it snaps over and it shows the chalkboard with a whole bunch of equations. It turns out those are the actual time dilation equations. Just figure out time dilation at speed of light and that sort of stuff.
She's trying to stop time at this point.
Yes.
So she has more time, I guess, to figure out the disaster thing.
Yep.
Which didn't happen. But yeah, it was also fun. It's weird because I remember, well, she said, I look ridiculous like this with the hairstyle and all this. And it's weird because everyone, it's like, that looks cool, though.
It does look cool.
And so it's weird. It's like, fandom latched onto something that the characters themselves don't like.
Hey, Celestia liked it. Or
Yeah,
at least she
well,
said she
Celestia.
liked it. That was another funny piece.
Yeah,
You
Celestia
don't have to
just showing up
sneak
at the end.
into the
Yeah,
character
but
lot.
remember, sleep deprivation just made her. Who knows? She might have just forgot she had access. Might have figured she doesn't have access because she doesn't live in Karen a lot. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't
Twilight's
know.
mind is difficult to figure out. I mean, you have to kind of already be thinking like her.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was a fun episode. It ties nicely into season 4. I actually kind of hope maybe time travel makes a thing again, but I'm not sure if they will.
I don't think they will. The comics might do more on it, but I don't think they'll.
I mean, the
see
comics
a
already
huge-
have done more
yeah.
time travel stuff with Discord. So
Yeah. Well, Discord and
Fluttershy.
the mirrors, they talked about it, didn't they?
Well,
No, there was a book they did, but I think the comics could do.
yeah, the comics
do it.
already done one more time travel thing. So with Discord and
Yeah, with
Fluttershy,
Discord.
that'd still be fun to do more time travel.
I think the comics have got a little more leeway on what they can
But
do.
yeah, I
so.
think this was pretty much the last. I think I've seen some people said they want to see Twilight freak out again, but I don't think she's going to freak out like
But
this
not,
again.
Not to that level.
I mean, you saw her kind of freak out a little bit in Rainbow Rocks, but it was nothing near this level. Because since then, she's been growing up, and kind of people are forgetting that. It's like these
Yeah.
characters are growing up and maturing. They're not. If you look at season 1 version of any character and compare them to season 4 version, we're going to see some pretty major differences.
Yeah, the
think
characters develop over time like this.
Although I think the one that's changed the least is probably Applejack, just because she was already pretty.
I didn't learn a thing. I was right all along.
Yeah, they made.
Yep.
But we all of them have changed, Twilight included. So she's no longer the crazy panicky mare she was. She's now a little more calm about things. She'll probably panic internally, but she's able to kind of put on a brave face and go in anyway.
Yeah. Like I said earlier in this episode, this I think was the first real starting point for her learning to. One of the
Less
major
Than Zero
points.
was her first real. We say shades of in Swarm of the Century. We kind of saw shades of her starting to panic, but that was alleviated when everything was solved. Less Than Zero, we see her first real big panic and her kind of learning a little from that.
Yeah, but this was one of the really primary ones where she starts internalizing
Then
it.
she sees this where she learns to, not panic so much and just maybe stop and think about things a little bit. And then we see in Games Ponies Play, I think.
In Games Ponies
where
Play,
she learns the breathing technique.
Cadence is teaching the breathing technique. Just calm down.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Go.
Yep, gotta learn to
And
recognize
from there
when you
on,
start
she kind
panicking.
of stopped panicking, really.
Yeah,
She
she's getting better
occasionally
at it.
goes into a panic. Again, we saw in season 4, just her flying into the ceiling, bumping her head. But again, it's pretty small scale.
Yep.
So yeah, her large scale panics are no longer a thing. She no longer has nuclear meltdowns. It's more just kind of a localized thing. So I think that's kind of all I can really get out of this. Yeah, because it's still fun.
Yeah.
I still love it. It's still
a great
probably one of
episode.
my favorites in season 2. Might even one of my favorites overall. So I have to really think about that. But yeah, so that's it for that. We got some music though.
Yes, I
So
do.
I'm gonna pass it off right now.
Yep. So I've got some music, like you said. I've got 3 songs. The first one I have is Aurora by Panic. It's a pretty good one. It's kind of a house-ish with vocal slicing. It's some Fluttershy vocal samples, and I thought it was really good. It's fairly easy to listen to. It's kind of move a bit while you listen to it. It's just a fun song to listen to.
Yeah, this song was pretty good. I think it nothing against it. I think it was just the problem was with the other 2 songs you picked out. I think it kind of got overshadowed just because of those. It's one of those. I think if it was on its own, I remember better, but because it's paired with these other ones, it's like those other ones are much more in my head.
Yeah, this one out of the 3 is probably the calmest one. So it does tend to blend in a little bit more. But if you're looking for something easy to listen to, it's a great one.
It's still nice, though. Yeah.
The next one I have is Applejack by Ponyphonic.
My spice enough to spare, and I won't ever want no other. I do declare there is none who holds a candle on this side of anywhere.
This is a country song. It's an interesting country song. It's the closest, like a country rock, but more the old style. Because, you know, not just one guy talking, you know, the big chorus backgrounds. But I don't like country. But this is actually pretty good. He nails it, like pretty much everything else this guy's done. Tony Funk is the same one who's done Lullaby for Princess and The Moon Rises. It's the same guy.
Yeah.
So does really good stuff. And this is right along this where he nails it. So I thought it was really, really well done.
Yeah, we really don't do a lot of country on this show, and there's not a lot of country in the fandom in general.
There isn't.
Even though there's like one, hey, look, this one pretty country character right there. But
Dapplejack.
yeah, but yeah, country isn't really a thing in this fandom. And but this is actually a really fun song. I really actually enjoyed it a lot. I was surprised. It also reminds me of an old song, which is going to drive me crazy because I cannot remember. I can hear part of the song in my head, but I cannot remember what it reminds me of, and it's going to drive me crazy because I can hear it, but I can't remember it, the whole thing. So it's just out of my head. But yeah, this is I think actually the last time we did a country song in the podcast was Eiley Monty's what was it, Sweet Cider Blues or something? That was country-ish.
Country-ish.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It has been a while.
So yeah, like I said, there's not a lot of country in this fandom. So it's, every once in a while, and it's also kind of a hard thing to do in the sense of,
Yeah.
from a certain, if you approach music from like I guess the EDM standpoint, it's very hard to go to country.
Yeah, EDM has it's an easier entry.
Yeah.
It's easier to get the equipment to make it and such like that. Where country, you tend to want to have the actual instruments, and those are a little bit harder to play.
There's also, let's be honest, there's a certain vocal style you need to have to really pull it off.
And I think he does.
Yeah,
I think he nails it.
Like I said, it's a very classic country rock type thing.
Yeah. But it's good. Even if you don't like country, I would still recommend giving it at least a listen. I don't like country, and I like this song. So that leads me to my last song. It is Shimmer by Stretch Attack.
Wow, catchy.
This is a VIP remix of something he did a while back. But it's a drum step with a bit of vocal splicing with some simple Twilight vocal splice. It's a fun little electronic song with a little bit of little drum steps, so you have the drums in your almost dubstep, but not quite elements in there. But it's a pretty upbeat, fun song.
Yeah, as he said in his little YouTube description, it was like a drum and bass, but it's been
Drum and bass with a little bit.
It's been further worked on since then, the original iteration. But yeah, this is also a great song. It's you said this, you were criticizing it for this, but yeah, it is a little on the repetitive side.
It is a little bit on the repetitive.
It's still great. The problem is it's just it goes on just a minute or so longer than it really should. If I think it was just cut down by just a minute, it would help that a lot, alleviate that criticism a lot. But otherwise, it's still a good song to listen to. Probably like in the middle of a mix or something, just right there, and then. Yeah, it's still fun, and I just kind of just the name of the song and the stuff just being
it says Shimmer and it's Twilight, and yes, you like those too. But yeah, that's what I've got. So that's fan fiction.
That's a fan content because I got no music or no fan fiction this week because just I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, you didn't have music last week. You can go.
I couldn't find anything. So. It's just no updates, nothing.
Wow.
It's just a weird week.
It's
I found
so
something almost, but it's like it's one of those I don't want to feature. It's not really too far along yet. I don't want to feature it. I got some concerns, but maybe in the future. But anyway, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can listen to past and future episodes all at pony411.libsyn.com. And there's an RS feed and all that jazz there. well. You can go to iTunes, search for Pony411, subscribe there. You can go to YouTube, youtube.com/pony411. That's the nice streaming format on YouTube, all that jazz. You can go to Stitcher, stitcher.com. Search for Pony411 again, either through the website or through the apps on Android or iOS. All of those work. You can even find related podcasts through us on there. You can go to Ponyville FM every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are there every week. If you like to, listen to us and maybe want to respond to something we said, criticize us, whatever, you can contact us, pony411podcast@gmail.com. I can take the criticism.
I can too.
Yeah. Also, you can also give us news tips, or hey, you have something you want to do, you want to let people know about. You can do that too. You can also contact us via Facebook, facebook.com/pony411. We post the show stuff there when it comes out. Occasionally, we don't do much else there, but it's just a nice way to keep up to date if you want to.
If you're on Facebook a lot, yeah.
Yeah. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're at Pony411. Follow us, tweet at us. We'll tweet at you maybe. All that stuff. Probably. Unless you tweet something pretty horrible, in which case we won't. Please don't tweet the horrible things.
Please don't tweet us horrible things. We don't.
Or anyone, actually. Don't tweet anyone horrible
don't
things.
tweet horrible things.
Why am I soapboxing? Anyway. You can also follow us on our personal Twitters. He's at Alcatraz with 7 and 7 T and an underscore at the end. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. We sometimes tweet on those.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Me more often, oddly enough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can contact us there, follow us there if you don't want to just pony stuff. Join us next week. It's February, and you know what month that means is, so you can probably guess what we're going to talk about. So until then, don't forget, please pony responsibly, guys.